did it go out? Because we didn't use it. Now, right now, we're going in the wintertime and it's going just fine. It's lighting up, it's burning, it's showing its power. Because why? Because it is being used. The same thing for us. We can lose our light if we don't shine it. Batteries die. we're like a reverse flashlight. The more we use it, the brighter we get. The less we use it, the more it dies. Yes, Brother.
Well, I was thinking about this word, refuse. First time when you read it, say, let's read it. Always to refuse. Let us not allow the light which is in us to go out because we refuse to give the light to others. Depend on that. I don't refuse, but the Bible, the Scripture says, yes, I refuse because I don't study for myself and I cannot give to others either. It's a very strong statement. When I read this one, I read it a couple times and this is for me? Yes. And we are responsible, and we're going to learn the lesson. When we're going to learn the lesson, some things what is very amazing.
Yeah, Brother.
And there's a theme of last week coming over again. This doing to not keep the light and want to give it. First is the love of God. I have to have that love for God first. And then if I have the love for Christ, I'm going to have that love to want to give it to my neighbor. If we don't have it, it's gonna show. If it's a fake, it's going to show when the Holy Spirit working and we allow the Spirit to work in us, it will be genuine and people will be able to come home to Christ.
Yes, Brother.
I like this part. He just says, I associate with these Christians, yet they never told me of my danger. They never warned me. I thought that if I was in danger of being lost, they would not rest day or night without arousing me to see my lost condition. Now I am lost. If I had been in their place and had seen one in a similar condition, I would not have rested. This is somebody that didn't get told. I would not have rested until I made them sensible of their state and pointed them to the only one who can save them. Now we sit here and we talk about things, and we watch people say things and do things, and we won't say anything because we believe we'll hurt their feelings. You'll tell your son, your dad, tell your opponent you really love, hey, listen, you need to slow down when you kill yourself. You understand? You're driving too fast. But we don't let somebody that's not close to us do whatever. Why is that? Where's the love? We get to love each other, not anybody else that comes into the circle. You understand what I'm saying? And this is somebody talking about a Christian that they stayed with. Never would tell them, eating meat. Whatever it is that God tells us not to do, we should be able to say to them.
Amen.
Amen. The question, when happened is going to say that? Anybody knows?
At the judgment.
When this when?
At the judgment.
When?
At the last day.
No. Nobody knows who is saved, who is not.
Oh.
On the second resurrection, when they find themselves lost, they say, the preacher, you don't tell me, and we lost together. The short time after second resurrection, because now until the second coming of Christ, nobody knows who is saved, who is not. There's no way for somebody to tell, I'm lost because you. But in the second resurrection, when they prepare for second war, they prepare the war, Satan and the whole army to attack. In that time, they know they're lost. And they say, because the preacher, because your friend, you don't save me, you don't save others. You don't save yourself. And they blame the preacher and blame the other people who know each other because you. And because me, because I don't know the right thing, I may lost myself. And because you look at me, oh, Aaron is one, is good enough. He's good the way how he is. Why can I be like that? He get lost too. So that is the time when these words are coming.
Yes.
Yeah, but.
You know, that was what Brother Antoine read there. It summed up the whole theme. I love my brother. It's called charismatic. You know, sometimes we can want to see God's kingdom grow, but grow with what and how? Oftentimes, you know, I don't love you enough to tell you, hey, my brother, you are going down the wrong path because I want you around. And you know, even if it's two people, that's a church. So it's not, and even especially our own, sometimes we hate to tell our own their sins. We're quicker to go and tell the neighbor next door than our own. And God is saying, oh no, the Bible said, we love it, he chasten it. If I love you enough, I'm going to chastise you. Not with beat it over your head, but in love, I'm going to show you what does said the Lord.
Amen.
And the first paragraph here under A, it says, there is no greater evidence than that who have received great light do not appreciate that light, than is given by their refusal to let that light shine upon those who are in darkness. And so, as Brother Courtney was saying, when we share this light, that means we have love. Because there is this lesson is talking about how we should be. But as Brother Courtney mentioned, we cannot distribute these characteristics if we do not have God with us. As we were talking about last week's lesson, if we hate our brethren, we are a murderer. But what is God? God is love. And without that love, we cannot do any of these. Personally, we need to be on a level with Christ. Then these other features will follow. But if we are promoting visually, publicly, to everyone, that this is the love that we have, this is what we're saying. But we're not doing it yet.
And also, this lesson is a complete lesson. Yet our duty is to see the salvation of our brethren. And at the same time, yes, we will, at the end of the lesson, we will see that we will be persecuted also. People will hate us. People will mock us. We should not let this affect us. No matter what, we need to keep the message. Because sometimes people say, I've been talking to these people so long, they do not answer. But no matter what, we see that at the end, we should always, in the church, people will hate us, whatever, we should always give the message to the people, no matter what.
And with that, tactfully.
Yes,
We need to do it tactfully, not just shove meat down their throats. We need to give them milk first, even in their error. We need to do it tactfully in a way. John, did you have a comment?
Yes, it says here in the next reading, and to go to work whether you feel like it or not. It says engage in personal effort to bring souls to Jesus and the knowledge of the truth. In such labor you will find the stimulus and the time. So as we go to others, as we said, although we're not perfect, but as we go, it's going to also help us as we go to help others.
Amen.
And we learned from Jonah. Jonah's a real good example. He didn't feel like going, but he then changed his mind after the night.
Sometimes there's no room for tactfulness. Christ wasn't tactful when he tell the Jews them they were hypocrites. Sometimes if something is wrong and it's big and bold and it throw out there from the pulpit, it have to be correct in love again, but it have to be correct there and then, right there. You know, like private little things, and you see, you know, tactfully go there, but sometimes you gotta give it. The Holy Spirit talk to you, you better go and give the trumpet a certain sound.
Amen.
And the last part under Sunday says, God has given to every man his work. Not one is excused from serving. That's all of us. I know it's just man, but that's all of us, yeah.
Because Jesus just preached to one lady at the audience, and she went to go to the whole city. So we can't limit ourselves to like the example that we did in extra reading. If it's a one-man audience, you don't know how far that's going to go. So he said, one-on-one is just as important.
Okay, moving on to Monday. In an age of moral darkness, what cry strongly echoes down to us all? And you know, the note, or the verse, it says, the morning cometh and also the night. And so there is that contrast. There is going to be good and bad coming. As it says up here, the night symbolizes
still darkness. Where is darkness?
The world.
We are in darkness. Because we wait for Christ to come, but our life doesn't change. Make sense? We still in darkness? We're still in darkness. So when watchmen, when the Spirit of prophecy, the Bible, the church thought, Christ is coming, what kind of change I make in my life? If I don't make any change, if the Christ is coming, the morning is coming, but I'm still in darkness and I perish in darkness.
We can see that deep darkness every day, every month, every year cover this world. There was a time you can have your sons and daughters and watch TV. Now we said, first you said we cannot watch those movies. You cannot watch those cartoons. Now even the news, you cannot have them watch it. Because what happened is they are talking about abortion. They talk about sex change for the youngest. Think about that. We can see it in a short period of time. Our darkness cover this world. There's no reason and nothing. This world is falling apart. But us, we can make a big difference. Because the glory of the Lord is rising upon us. It is time for us to arise and shine because there is deep darkness. When you are in darkness, it doesn't take too much light to light the world. Think about that because we are in deep darkness, but that's why we need to make a difference in our life by our deeds, the way we behave. There should be a stark difference between us and the world.
And one in the world.
And it says, here's the answer, Brian, you was talking about. The voice said, the watchmen need to awake and give the trumpet a certain sound. The morning cometh, and also the night, like you were saying. Wake up, my watchmen. Voices that should now be heard presenting the truth are silent. Same-sex marriages is wrong. Bottom line. We want to bounce around it and voices that should now be heard, right, presenting the truth, are silent. That's the reason. Souls are perishing in their sins, and ministers and physicians and teachers are asleep. This is the warning. Wake up, my watchmen, and tell the truth. These talk at work, when they come to me, I'm going to say it. Whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. Because I can't live with the fact that they talk about same-sex marriage as it's okay. You understand what I'm saying? It's okay to let people be. You can't judge these people, blah, blah. The Bible says plainly that it's wrong. And I'll probably get in trouble eventually, but it doesn't matter. The truth is the truth. So when they come, and people come all the time because they want to hear the truth. And we're as watchmen, we don't say anything. Nothing. Just let it be. Don't be so mean, blah, blah, blah. As we all perish, like Aaron said.
And before Brother Carney, it says ministers. Are we all ministers?
Yes.
What about physicians?
Yes.
We're all physicians?
Yes.
But what about teachers?
Yes.
All right.
We may not necessarily be ministers. We may not necessarily be physicians, but we all are teachers. No matter which way you look at it. I may not know how to heal, like Sister Dulcie. She knew how to heal somebody. She knew how to help people. I may not be a minister like Brother Nehemiah or all other ministers, but we are all teachers. Regardless of it, we are all teachers, whether we want to or not. We are teaching others just by the way that we live.
That's right.
Brother Carney, you talk about.
You know, something I always ponder. You know, when the Bible talk about watchman on the wall of Zion, and it's watching, you gotta be watching for the devil in every aspect, not just around us in the church or what. And you have to watch and to see what's going on in the world. But for us as Christians, you know, certain jobs we just can't do because we can't watch because certain government jobs, as what Brother Antoine was saying, you know, you can't go and speak against and not agree with homosexual business or, you know, abortion and so on. So how can you watch if you're going to be involved in those government jobs? And you got to keep silent. Because I've seen about 4 years ago, there is a brother from California got thrown out. He was responsible for someone at the health department of one of them city, and he preaches against the homosexual, and they dumped him. So, and I said to myself, he should have gone before they get to dump him, for the city rise up against him because he go against it. So there's certain jobs we just can't take, for we can't get to watch and speak out the way we should.
Thank you. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that there was some kind of, I think, a fire chief here in Atlanta or something
Yes.
like that,
Yes.
that wrote a book,
Mm-hmm.
and because of that book, he was, speaking God's word, and they
Sure enough, yes.
and they threw him out. So, like you said, depending on what we do when we speak, there is going to be consequences, and we need to be prepared for that if we are believing in God's word.
Amen.
Let's see. On B, how is the Lord eager to transform our churches through His grace? Do you want to say that, brother?
Yes.
It's in Isaiah. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon thee. Because the churches are withering up because they have failed to use their talents in diffusing the light of the truth to others. So, who's withering? God's church is withering? Why? Because we individually, because we are making up God's church. So if the church is withering, it's because we, let's call it the roots or the foundation of, say, this building here. If the church is going to fall, it's because we, the foundation, are falling. We are crumbling and we are not strengthened by the vine or trunk. We're failing without the trunk yet.
But we lose our power, as it says here, when excitements continually get a feasting, buying, selling, we're brought into the church, and then we end up following tradition versus the truth in God's word. As we look over the history of the church, we can see how we come away from really telling the watchman on the wall, telling the people, tell my people their sins. Tell them, John the Baptist lost his head.
Mm-hmm.
Married to his brothers,
Mhm.
and he had the right to. He lost his head. His wife said he just as direct as
Mhm.
John the Baptist.
Amen.
Thank you for your comments. Moving on to Tuesday. Results promised. What assurance does God offer to all yearning? What did we learn last week? Yearning. People yearn for God. God offered to all yearning to be imbued with His Holy Spirit in order to share truth with others. But again, as we stated earlier, it is our choice. If we are yearning after God's truth, that is our choice to go after Him, to learn of Him, to learn more, and to be with Him. It says in Proverbs, turn ye at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. And in Psalm 81, I am the Lord thy God, which bring thee out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it. When you're feeding a baby, and it knows it's feeding time, do you have to tell it or tell the baby to open the mouth? No. Just waiting for the food. They're chasing after the food if you don't go out after them. That's how we need to be with God. We need to be chasing after Him.
And also, that's a lesson for us. Many times, I cannot speak. No, God said, open wide your mouth, and it will fill it. There is no excuse. Oh, I cannot talk. Moses got an excuse like that. I cannot talk the language. No, God will live by faith. God will put something in our mouth to tell others our testimonies, our life with Him. All we have to do, open our hands wide, our mouth wide, and the Holy Spirit will put some words into our mouth.
The note, the second sentence that says, each can, in his humble sphere, do something for the Master.
Amen.
And this is why I asked earlier if we're all ministers or physicians. Just a few lines under that, it says, all cannot be preachers. All cannot be generals in the army of the Lord, but all can be faithful privates, following in humble obedience to the commands of the captain of their salvation. So like I said, we may not all be ministers, we may not all be physicians, but we are all teachers. No way of getting around that. We are all part of Christ's that we need to use in saying, look how much I have done for God. That's exactly Pharisaical. I have fasted, I didn't do this, I did that, I pray I don't know how many times a day. Is that how we can measure our faithfulness? I go to church every Sabbath, I pray. That's not how we can measure our faithfulness. Yes, Tony and then Marty.
How did the early church have such power? What was it that brought terror to the center?
They deny themselves.
They had their deportment. Of course, our life was following the greatest witness. You know, you have to have that spirit of Christ. Their deportment and their doctrines were terror to evildoer. And every time a person stood up for God, or lost their life or martyred, another one would come into the rank. And so Satan said, this is not going to work. Because when they stand up for God, and I take their life, another person comes in. So I've got to come into the church. And that's what he has done to the church today, just come in. Constantine, I think, started it and brought everything in with him. So the church has a lot of traditions and things that take away God's power.
She answered part of what I was going to say.
Okay. Moving on to part B. What results from faithful efforts to share light?
People will flock to the church. Will flock to us.
It says in the note, it says, many such will be seen hurrying hither and thither, constrained by the Spirit to bring the light to others. They're wanting to. They have that desire. They're yearning to. As we learned from last week, if we have the commandments within us, we will not backslide. We want to speak of God. We will be prompted to speak His word. Either Patrick or Courtney, yes.
You know, something I always look at, and I said, in the truth of doing things, the widow with the 3 mites, and how timid she were when she was giving that offering. She was timid, and that's how God is telling us today. Even when we're doing things, we should be looking at it that we're still not doing enough for Christ. But that's how the folks that were around her they were wealthy and they were giving out of their wealth. But she was giving all to Christ. And that's what Christ wants from us. All of us. And then we still gonna be, hey, I'm not giving enough for Christ. And I don't have enough. But at the same time, God sees us as humble and will want to reward us in the long run with His Holy Spirit.
Amen. And we don't need an education to be able to do God's word. In the middle of the note, it says, many, even among the uneducated, now proclaim the words of the Lord. So we can't say, oh, I'm not smart enough. Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I can't do this. We all have the capability.
Amen.
It says even children.
Children.
It says children are impelled by the Spirit to go forth in the prayers and message from heaven. Whenever in Scandinavia, when they did Bible and all that stuff, the children started preaching. So why should you went to this meeting and the children started speaking, they were acting like normal children, and then the Lord got in them and they were rebuking people and everybody was confessing everything from the child being used by God.
Amen.
So we all, there is no exception.
Right.
If we are claiming to be God, or God's servants, if we are proclaiming that we are God's servants, yes, Brother Patrick, then we have no excuse. If we are desiring to do God's work, we have no excuse. But if we don't do it, it's only because we are choosing not to do it.
Yes. That's why the parable of the talents, some got 1 talent, others 2, others 5. You see, God always gives us a measure of talents. People may say, I don't know. If we say we do not have a talent, we are sinning against Jesus Christ. Because Jesus Christ gave every one of us a talent. And in the lesson we see also something that the 1 talent can do, that the 5 talents cannot do it. So that's why we need, because at the end, if we do not use those talents, which is our light, God will refuse. If we refuse to use those talents, God will take those talents and those lights out of us. God forbid. So that's why now we have to use those talents while it is time.
And that's a very good point that you make, and I wanted to bring that up as well. But just because I have 1 and somebody else has 5, does not mean we have the same. We do not have, a big company can't work because everybody is the CEO. Everybody has to have their own job and position, and those talents are giving us what each one has. Some people can't speak, but they can help teach or help kids. Some people don't know how to maybe present a lesson, but they know how to be friendly to other people.
Amen.
We all have talents, and we're not all the same vibe. It's different vibe. Together we'll be able to do them.
And in the next reading, it said the person with one talent might have been the person, when an individual, when the person that had the 5 talents couldn't even reach them. So you have to use the talent under the Holy Spirit is how you get anything.
For verse 11, under Jeremiah, it says, "But the Lord is with me as a mighty, terrible one. Therefore my prosecutors shall stumble, and they shall not prevail. They shall be greatly ashamed, for they shall not prosper. The everlasting confusion shall never be forgotten." And so, if we're standing up for Christ, we should always remember that Christ is with us. Yes.
That's a perfect lesson. Imagine Jeremiah, a great prophet. And now he has in his time in fear. People make fun of him, they mock him, they deride him. And at one point in time, even thought about not speaking about the word of God anymore. Then the Holy Spirit come upon him and realize that God was with him and changed him. And the same for us. So whenever we fail, I never forget in some churches, whenever you preach, people start calling the pastor, oh, this and this, this and that. There is a fear sometimes to talk about the word of God. But if we read those verses from Jeremiah, this will give us strength, hope, and also the fear, to take the fear from us, so that to be resilient, to be fearless when time is come to speak of the word of God.
Moving on to B. What should we learn from how prophets and apostles shared God's messages with such tremendous power? This is going back to Sister Tony's question that she had earlier. And Micah, it said, "But truly I am full of power." Because of my power?
No.
No. "I am full of power by the Spirit of the Lord, and of the judgment and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sin." And even in 1 Corinthians, it's also a good verse. Chapter 2, verse 4 and 5. "And my speech and my preaching was not the enticing words of man's wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power, that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God." And so, nothing that we learn today in school or in your own personal study of anything, even the Bible itself, is worthless unless that study of God's Word is with God.
Amen.
We can know the Bible front and back. We can have the whole Bible memorized. We can have all the readings of Sister White. But if we do not have, as it says here, "But I am truly full of power by the Spirit of the Lord." Not because I know everything, but I am full of power because of the Spirit. Does someone have a comment?
Just that in that paragraph there, it says, so why is it that preaching the truth has so little power to move the people that you are lacking the Holy Spirit? We should pray for it, and then God will do the work.
Yes.
Part of the problem too, we're not different from the world. We're not showing that we're different. We're not living and walking that truth. So the world can see, oh, they are different. It's a difference here. We go anywhere and it's like we blend in. The Christian pathway is never to blend in. It's always to be shine out there. You know, you're not going to throw yourself out there, you know, in the wrong way, but you're going to be something is different, and want to inquire what is different, what's about this person. If I'm going to be talking to the man in the street and he can't is wrong there.
Has now so little power to move the people. The next line says, "Is God less willing to bestow his blessing upon the laborers in his cause in this age, in the apostles' days?" Is he less willing? No. In the next paragraph, How much do you desire to give the best to your children?
Oh, yeah.
A lot. Just imagine that desire is a fraction of the desire that God has to give us His Word, His Spirit, His law, His love. Just a fraction of it. But then it goes on to the last line. It says, the reason why the precious and important truth for this time is not powerful today is that we do not work in faith. That's the whole reason. The messages do not have power because we personally, either the minister or those who are hearing, are not in the faith. Because I can hear it all I want, but if I don't want to hear it, if I don't want to accept the message, it could be Christ speaking right now. And He was, but they did not want it. Because was it Nebuchadnezzar or whoever said, oh, I'll come back at a later time when I'm ready. What?
Felix.
Well, he was in jail. Somebody was in jail, and then he was.
Felix, the king.
Yeah, it was a king. It was a king. Yeah. He said, "Oh no, I'll come back when I'm ready."
That was
Not on
Pilate.
Pilate time.
Now the
If we say, "Oh, not today, tomorrow," do we have the opportunity tomorrow? Maybe tomorrow will be the day. Maybe next week will be the day. Maybe next month will be the day. But that is not guaranteed today.
And also, we have to be very serious about that. A very grievous sin among leaders of the church, all of us included, is the lack of faith. That's a sin. Many times people can have in their heart that do not really believe. Imagine you go and say, "Brethren, come and pray for me." And the brethren himself do not believe in the prayer. That's bad. That's why we need to be very careful. When the disciples heard that, they said, "Christ, have my this, that will be a big problem. A lot of people will not have faith in the church." Verbal. If God, let's say now we come to the church and we start digging and we see the church empty, God will send people. That's why sometimes we see people and we lose faith. No. God has something coming. We have to have faith. Because faith got to be tested. Many times we lose faith quickly. That's why we need to pray like as the disciples, "God, forgive my unbelief and increase my faith." Should be our prayer.
Moving on to Thursday, reaping the bounty. What was the purpose of Jesus in sending the miraculous drought of fishes? What can we learn from this experience in our labor for souls? So just because we may or may not be successful in what we're doing, worldly things. Oh, I may not be making enough money, or whatever the thing. I may not be able to produce so much in my garden because I'm not a good gardener or whatever. But does that mean that God cannot use it? No. Right there, do you have a comment?
I like very much these verses when Jesus tells disciples they're fishing all night and catch nothing. And they in a special period, they don't know because it's Christ himself. And say, take the net, throw on that side. They don't ask why. They just did it. Or no question why to do that. So they throw the net. And what happened? It was full of fish. And Peter, Simon, his brother, John come to Jesus and said to power of God and this man. And he was feeling himself so low, he was not able, not even stay face to face. So it's so wonderful when you have a Jesus next to us and give us a power of salvation.
You see, Peter said, Lord, we have been fishing all night long. That's purely logic. Think about it. You think that's a logical thing. There's many times we get something, an effort in the church, and we sometimes come with logic that's appear logic for us, which is foolishness in the eyes of God. We have to work all night long. Think about it. Now you tell me throw it this way, and we spend the whole night. You see, we need to have faith. And guess what? And Christ said, Peter, one day you will be catching them. The same for us. The time will come, every one of us will work people hard. The Holy Spirit will work on us. Guess what? We will bring people into this church. Let us remember those words. We will be catchers of men.
Just a few weeks ago, me and the wife, we were studying about the same thing. And I never see it this way. But, you know, Peter and they were worrying about money and the family or whatever you. And I'm not saying God's going to do this to us all the time. But God wanted them to be fishers of men. So he allowed them, hey, you know, catch a big boat of fish or 2 boats of fish. Go sell it so you have money. So now I want you to go and do my work instead of to be worried so much. But that's what was going on with them. They were worried about money to survive.
And it says under note, first line, be not so self-caring. There are thousands whose lives are just as precious as yours. As mine. Thousands is probably not the word, but it's a lot more. And it said, the next paragraph is, teach the people to have the light in themselves and not to depend on the minister. They should have Christ as their helper and should educate themselves to help one another so that the minister can be free to enter new fields. What was last week and this week talking about? That we have our own jobs to do. Yes. Everyone has the capability of working, even the children, as Mr. Tony mentioned. All of us have the work to do. And then it said, our people, the last paragraph, our people have the great light, and yet much of our ministerial force is exhausted on the churches and teaching those who should be teachers and enlightening those who should be the light of the world. So, if we're not growing as much as we're expecting to grow, is why? Because we are not ready. Mm-hmm. Personally, we are not ready. We still need to be taught. And so, instead of, for example, I'm just going to point out Brother Nehemiah because he is the minister here. Instead of Nehemiah being able to help others, he's still helping us grow because we are not growing how we should. We are midgets in our growth. We have stunted our growth and we're not growing to our full ability. We're still drinking the milk instead of eating the meat. Yes?
We were discussing the lesson downstairs. I gave an illustration. You know, summertime when you get light outside, door, all because of light.
That's right.
And when Jesus said, Peter,